My name is Grace and my family is Norwegian. My family for Christmas has a lot of Norwegian traditions, specifically my favorite being making lefse. Lefse is some sort of thin potato tortilla. That's the best way I have of explaining it. But I'm going to show you how we make it today. And I really hope you enjoy watching me completely fail because I am not good at it. A lot of people ask me and they're like, what is that at festival just sitting on top of the deli? And it's lefse. And because Oshkosh has a lot of families with Norwegian or Scandinavian descent, we have lefse here.
So when you make lefse, the first thing you do is boil tons of potatoes and then mash them up using this fancy tool, and it is much harder than it looks, let me tell you. Then my mom mixes in salt, sugar, butter, and cream. I was confused about the sugar at first, but that's actually what creates the brown spots when you cook it because it caramelizes. So she mixes it up. Eventually she's gonna add 2 or 3 cups of flour. She literally mixes it until she thinks it's right. Then we put it in the fridge overnight to cool down and dry out. So it is officially the next morning, and I'm going to give you a little tour of our setup here. My mom is using a Lefse grill. In order to cook it, she uses this big stick that we don't know the name of and we just call it the stick. She's pointing to a pastry board which she used to roll out the Lefse. We put flour on it. It's got fabric wrapped around it, so then we can roll it out. Then we use this fancy rolling pin that has lines vertically and then a sock with lines horizontally, where when you roll it, it actually pushes it the opposite way so that it stays in a nice circle, if you use it right, unlike me. Then she's going to show us, she rolls out the lefse so that it's super thin to the point where you can see the words through the lefse. My mom is putting some flour on the board and she's going to start rolling out the lefse. She is an actual master, so this takes her like 1 or 2 minutes max. She flips it around. She is so good at it. It is so much harder than it looks because it has to be so thin. She also multitasks and cooks things as she's rolling it out. Then she takes her stick and she goes under the lefse, and then she goes under it one more time and picks it up in this fancy way where she rolls it around the stick and then rolls it onto the griddle. So then after she's done with that, she folds it up and she puts it under a towel with all the other ones to keep it nice and fresh while we wait. Now here's me trying. I'm just gonna say I am definitely not nearly as good as my mom is at this. I was sitting there probably rolling that thing for about 5 minutes, redoing it, flipping it over, and at this point I had completely messed it up, so there's me dying, and then trying to fix it. Keep on rolling it out. Eventually I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I got my stick going. It gets stuck, and then I just can't deal with it. Eventually, I just ask if I can flip it over, and then that happens. So that was not a good decision, but it's okay. I decided to throw it on anyways, and there is my first piece of lefse.
Okay, so my mom just went to take a break because she's been at this for almost 2 hours, and we're just over, like, we're not even halfway done. So I told her I'd continue this, even though I'm really bad at it, and I already ripped it. You know, this is a lot easier when I have my mom watching me, telling me what I'm messing up, because when I'm doing it by myself, I honestly have no clue if I'm doing it right. Okay, this is not happening. Usually we eat it with just butter, which sounds weird, but it's delicious. We eat it with just butter, or we put butter and then cinnamon sugar on it, and that is delicious. But last year I was too scared to try, and this year I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have just not tried.
So you might be wondering what my final lefse looked like. There it is. It is not amazing, but my entire family ate it without complaining. They said it was good, so I'm gonna call that a win. Well, I hope you guys learned a little bit about lefse today, and I hope that you try to make it yourself, or maybe just pick it up from the store. Bye, guys!